Naruto, 651 viewer comments, and if you haven't tried it yet, Kill la Kill. It's up to 3 episodes. This thing is just so much insane fun. It's enough for that commercial. Alright, we can start off with GTR Master 2000. Was an okay chapter. I'm assuming these augmented flashbacks are foreshadowing for Obito finally being taught no jutsu. I think just as Obito has his change of heart, Madara will step in and finish the Moon's Eye plan with his trump card. And then after everyone will break out, I don't think it will be Obito who sees the plan to fruition. Also, something that has been annoying me, but maybe a dumb question, why didn't they seal the Nine Tails and Tsunade to begin with instead of Kushina? Okay, a few people respond to this. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. It would be interesting to see Madara go ahead and finish it out, but we may be. I think we're probably about done with the Itos. I think it's also another possibility the Itos are getting ready to be completely gone, and they'll go ahead and go into Dream World. I mean, one scenario, right? If Obito does succeed, and as is mentioned by a few people, and these viewer comments yet again, is he does keep having this ability to survive. So if he does manage to survive, gets rid of the Itos, then they have to break out. Of course, the whole thing of Madara stepping in, that could happen, but I don't know. Then it gets kind of complicated because, like I say, he's an Ito. Then how do you get rid of him if he's... So I don't know. That may be too much for him. If Madara does succeed, he's too knowledgeable and maybe just too powerful a character to get rid of later. And it probably makes more sense for it to be Obito that wins, because so that it's his. Even though Madara started off, it's really more about Obito now. So for him to be defeated and people to finally bust out of his thing. But we'll see. I mean, any of these scenarios and lots more could happen. And then, of course, Kishimoto, it's his manga. He just does some other crazy stuff. All right, a few people kind of respond back and forth here. G. Gorsey, Kushina possessed a powerful form. This is in response to also something has been annoying me, but maybe there's a dumb question. Why didn't they seal the Nine Tails of Tsunade to begin with instead of Kushina? Okay, G. Gorsey, Kushina possessed a powerful, special form of chakra, which made her well suited for becoming the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. With her chakra, Kushina was able to materialize chakra chains, with which she was able to restrain and subdue the Nine Tails in the real world as well as in her subconscious. She could also form a barrier in conjunction with these chains, so I think that's why they chose her. Brilliant answer. And GTR Master 2000. I get that part for her later years, but when she was a kid, how would anyone anticipate that she could create chains? Let me stop right here a second. There was mentions that it was something special about her, I think, even in the beginning, the reason she was chosen. So they may have known already. But anyway, not to mention it, not like they checked Naruto before he was made the Nine Tails. They just went ahead and said, give me my baby. Plus, Tsunade is not the only Senju, but Uzumaki. That's why I'd assumed that for her to be the logical choice, or her brother at the time, not just grab someone from the Uzumaki village and bring them to Konoha. Maybe a younger person could have adapted to it easier. Well, you got to remember, a lot of people married, because that was the closest thing that they had to Senjus, is the Uzumaki kept getting married in, right, and the whole symbol of the clan. So they're not like the big outsiders that we would suppose. I guess the survivors and everything especially kept marrying into the village. And G. Gorsey responds again. I know what you mean, but Kushina was born special form of chakra, just like Madara, we know. Tsunade is not only Senju, but also Uzumaki. Tsunade is not only Senju, but also Uzumaki. Her why? Yeah, okay, yeah. But she didn't born with a special form of chakra. I think that's why they didn't choose her. Well, it's like the first had that special. He had the wood release, and then she had. So these things manifest differently, as we all know, in different characters. All right, pretty good back and forth right there. Rumpy Rocks, love this chapter. And seeing how Obito finally started questioning himself. If he is actually doing the right thing. Kakashi always makes for the best commentary, and the attack was absolutely amazing. I don't know if I'd go as far as Obito questioning himself. I think he's finally had a solid... Finally, instead of the talk jutsu junk, he's finally had a vision from Kakashi, or inspired by it, that actually gives him some idea. Okay. Now, is he going to grab on to that or not? I haven't seen anything yet of actual remorse. He's just seeing this, and he may completely reject it. Anyhow, as a matter of fact, it may even fuel him further to go, look, okay, you're talking about the good part, but look at all the suffering. I mean, I hate to say this, I'm not on Obito's side on this, but there is a solid argument that he has as well, the misery that human beings tend to create with each other and all this power they've gotten, right? You know, mostly it's been used for bad, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I really do appreciate everyone's comments. KX Mixer X. I like this chapter. It was definitely better than the last three. Yes, indeed it was. I didn't know when it's going to happen, but I'm still waiting for Orochimaru to find an opportunity to rewrite Madara's Edo Tensei seal and put him under his control. Just having Orochimaru there, just the possibilities. I really, like I say, I want him to possess Sasuke so bad. I want to see this. I know that's kind of unrelated to this chapter, but I just had to say it. It makes sense to me, considering that Orochimaru has his own Edo Tensei Jutsu in effect right now, and it would make sense for him to at least attempt bringing Madara under his control. I mean, wow, I have no idea. You know, once they break through and he's controlling himself, how that would. Okay. Anyway, that's a lot to think about. But even the idea of Sasuke does finally turn good, or at least good enough. You know, we get gray Sasuke, you know, instead of dark Sasuke. Then, and then Orochimaru possesses him. That would be pretty awesome, actually. You can tell it's just part of what I want to see in this series. It would be so awesome, you know. The power he would have then would just be crazy. All right. Appreciate your comments. G. Gorsey. He is granted complete access to his chakra. Having long since mastered chakra control and already experienced with manipulating large amounts of chakra, and now with Sage Mode, creating 9 Rasengan in Kurama's tails, Naruto contacts his comrades from the Konoha, you say 11, but 10 after Neji's gone, to join the fray. As are developed by the chakra once more, they themselves don tailed beast mode mantles, much to their shock. What is shocking for me is that Naruto can talk to his friends with his mind. I mean, they know what to do. Well, I think that's still Ino. So nothing to me seems too out of order. And, I mean, physically, I think he can just, you know, make Rasengans where on any of his appendages he creates anymore. And, anyway, I appreciate your comments. Okay, Ulrich's hair. Obito's eyes are disabled. Obito will die when the Jubi is extracted. Or now, he isn't an Uzumaki. The only conclusion I can see is that it's good as Kakashi saves Obito. Kakashi fills the hole in Obito's heart, just like Hashirama did for Madara. Well, I question Madara's hole being filled, and we may want to find some better lingo for this. And Uchiha Obito. LOL, no, I'm a goner. He's, okay, he says no, he's done. Alright, appreciate your comments. Mr. Marcus, this was an amazing, Steve. Glad we're back with viewer comments. Yes, we are. Yes, cool chapter to see Naruto and Sasuke teaming up like this, which is really great. I always thought they were better as teammates than foes. It was also good to see Kakashi and Obito's relationship flashback. It was awesome. They both need clarity. Hopefully Obito can come to his senses. Great review, Steve. I respect you so much. We old men must stick together. LOL. Absolutely. All right. And I always appreciate your comments. And yeah, well said. All right, NW Order for Life. I thought this chapter was good, but I honestly could have done without Kakashi in this chapter. Woo! If Kishi would have just brought him out of Kamui next chapter, we could have seen him say his farewells to Obito. Much as I hate it, it seems like Obito will be converting before Madara is dealt with. So it breaks my heart to say Madara will take over as villain. Maybe, if we're lucky, I'll be wrong about Oro too, and he will pull something and be the final villain. Well, I like that part of it. But I don't know. Right in the beginning, they said, even before they knew he was, Obito, they're like, this guy isn't going to get converted, and I don't think he will. The only justification is what's been said about a million times, is that it could be the evil part of Madara in him tipping him over, and then once that's extracted, you get the moment, with the dying Darth Vader that's. Let me see with my own eye. The fine thing where he's converted to good right at the last moment because you get Madara's, garbage chunked out of him. It's probably not good to have Madara's stuff in you anyhow. But anyway, appreciate the comments. Mr. Marcus, listen, if no one told you, I love this channel for many reasons, and one of them is the mature dialogue we have on here, where the respect that is we receive on this channel. Being our age and still into anime is awesome. And what you do is even better, whether we agree or disagree. Very true. Your great reviewer, Respect Kishimoto, will keep this story going on long after the war. Please continue to be fair, understanding, inspirational to younger generations who love Naruto, but we can talk without fighting. I love this. And, hey, if you want to give me credit for this channel, you know what? I deserve a little bit of it. But everyone out there that participates in this, is really making this happen, and the feedback, I really do appreciate this, that I've gotten back from time to time, and especially it makes me feel even better, right, knowing that a lot of people that wouldn't normally participate at all are actually having a blast, able to make comments, share, responding to each other and everything. I love it. I really, and that's why I do it. So yeah, absolutely, really do appreciate it. All right. A lot of positivity this time around. Excellent. Not always that way. All right, Neo Snipe, and I do appreciate it. Neo Snipe, now that Obito is probably dead, if there are not already an infinite Tsukiyami, will Madara do anything at last? This chapter was better than the last two. It was nice that Naruto's friends helped to break the shields, and Naruto and Sasuke stab Obito, and the Kyuubi just look epic. Yes, they phenomenal. Now it is time to reveal Madara or Sasuke's next move. Well, it's all looking good. See, that's another thing. It's another reason people, I think, are getting really excited right now, is because pretty much from this point on, unless it's just kind of stretching it out, we're getting some decisive stuff going to happen. All right, Armin Gregorian. I agree with you, Steve, that they will all get Tsukiyami. However, if they don't, then they can use the sword Obito used to cut down the tree. The tree is interesting, and somebody even in here said it looks like a strand of DNA, which does sound pretty accurate, actually, the way it's twisted around. Pretty cool. All right, appreciate your comment. We'll see. A lot of possibilities. That's right. There's another weapon into the fray. And let's see. G. Gorsi has a few quick ones here. Naruto doing all this on just the half part of the Nine Tails chakra. What will happen when he gets the complete chakra of the Nine Tails? Well, since they're both feeding off of each other, I guess maybe you actually can get that because they're cooperating with each other. Yes, we could say Obito's fight is almost here. I'm thinking Madara will take from there at the end if Orochimaru doesn't have any plan to take over the war. This is awesome because we're sitting there. I mean, it isn't even just, we're not even just talking about will Obito be defeated. It's like, who's going to take over? Is it going to be Madara, Orochimaru? Which one of these two are going to, actually get their thing? Will Sasuke pull some slick thing and try to do his own little round around? I mean, just brilliant. Really appreciate the comments. And Hammond Willa, is the fight almost over? This is kind of cheating. This is like a team. I mean, we know we have, unless there's a bigger shock, until the beginning of next year. So, you know, we're definitely getting there. However many chapters, you know, that makes. I mean, how many chapters do we have left? 20 chapters? 16 chapters? Something like that? Maybe more? Something like that. It's not that far off. Or less. All right. And let's see. Mr. RJC 1991. Thank God for the end of the stretched out chapters. Amen. I didn't even know Naruto considered Tintin his friend. LOL. Joke. Now I wonder what kind of jutsu Madara is using in order to get the Jubi power from Obito. You know what? That is pretty... I have to say, you know, if you're going to bring the other 9 members of the Konoha 10 in, having them all have their own giant-sized Rasengan is pretty sweet. I mean, that was pretty nice. That was Kishimoto's pretty brilliant on this stuff sometimes. Really, I liked it. It was a really good moment. I think a lot of people saw it and kind of moved on, but that's one of those things to kind of look back on and really enjoy, because, you know, who knows? Who knows how many of those people aren't going to be around. All right. We may not get any more deaths like that, though. I don't know. Really do appreciate your comments. Okay, and G. Gorsey. They're not to do Rasengan. They're just holding the Rasengan. Naruto has control over the Kuroma's chakra and the Rasengan. They all wear tail black mode chakra that Naruto is controlling. So they're doing nothing but holding Rasengan. And let's see, Janisaurus has a few comments. This was absolutely amazing. And several comments. So Kakashi knows Minato. Sasuke, Hiroshima are there. That's a shame. I was waiting to see his reaction. So is Kakashi just going to do commentary or what? LOL. The Rasengan thing freaked me out. Just seeing someone as useless as Tintin with Rasengan made me laugh. I have to say that that's one of the things that none of us ever thought we were going to see, right? I mean, Tintin has been written off by everybody. The idea that she would be holding a Rasengan is just, that's pretty crazy. And then, another from Genesaur. I did like, however, the friendship stuff was just cringe. Reminded me of Fairy Tail. That's not a good thing. LOL. Alright. Once again, everybody, Kill la Kill. I'm telling you, it's an awesome thing. If you haven't checked it out, pretty damn interesting. Alright, that's a commercial too for that show. Alright, non-paid, by the way. But anyway, appreciate your comments. G. Gorsey. Good reviews, Rampage. Continue the good work. Thank you. I always appreciate the positive feedback. Alright. Could this be Obito imagined the alternative reality? Was Kakashi... Is he the one who imagined the alternate reality for Obito, and Obito saw it too? Because if you remember before, that Kakashi said they are somewhat connected, and Kakashi can see and hear what Obito is doing. Not really sure. Albert, appreciate your comments. Albert Wesker, great chapter. Hopefully Obito didn't die with that attack. I was expecting to see Naruto breaking the dream world created by Obito. Yeah, we're not quite there yet. But I guess, like I say, we got to be... But what's the beginning of the year? And Kishimoto, just speaking to when this thing's going to be over, Kishimoto's been notoriously, when he's speaking things, he's trying of going over. So the beginning of the year in reality may be almost to the middle of next year. But I don't know. He, considering that he had to... But also considering when he gave that comment was a while back, but it was also so that they knew when they could, you know, the anime people had an idea of what to judge. So I don't know. So sometime in there, I keep going back mentally trying to figure it out. But still, it's not that many chapters. I mean, think about it. You know, we're getting there, people. We're getting there, and it's going to be. Hopefully, it'll be. And I'm already getting nostalgic. Maybe this is just me from being an older person. I'm already getting nostalgic. You know, Probably a few days after the chapter comes out, people will be kind of excited. For me, I'll probably be about a good 5 days to 2 weeks. I'll be kind of because I've really enjoyed the whole ride, and everybody here, you know, interacting with me here has just made it a lot more fun. You know, passengers on the same Naruto, you know, bus or train we've all been on, so it's been a lot of fun. I do appreciate everyone's participation in making that happen. But yeah, I'm already getting nostalgic. It's not even over yet. Michael Gethman. I love the action in this chapter, and the fact that the teammates of Naruto heard his will and acted upon it. The Susanoo Ninetales teammate 9 Rasengan Barrage was drawn pretty well, with nearly a whole page dedicated to the Ninetales team up with the team friends and Susanoo on top. I love the page. Did anyone else notice that Obito's sword looks like a DNA strand? You're the one that mentioned it. Absolutely. It sure did. The final page of this chapter does not convince me that Obito is dead. I also like Sakura and Tsunade teaming up this week. Now, how I knew that is I generally start reading comments every so often as they come in. And, yeah, so that was a pretty good idea. I like your observation on that, Michael Gethman. Okay, appreciate your comment. And let's see, Jamal Jones, loving the reviews, bro. Appreciate it. You deserve more views. I reviewed this chapter too. If anyone wants to check it out, right? You can click in on Jamal Jones and check out his stuff, his page over there, and see what's going on. Absolutely appreciate the positive feedback as always. Enjoy it. Mr. CLG40, great review. Much better chapter than last week. Now what's going to happen next? How will Obito respond to the new attack? There's been a pattern with this war. The goods take a leap forward and 5 steps back. Obito just, he's a survivor. The guy just survives everything. But he likes to get other people to fight his battles, and then he pretty much just runs away. So it seems to be a technique that works pretty well for him. Alright, and am I going to be able to read this in any particular order? DT Ninja 831. Alright, we got like 3 comments, and I'm going to smash them all together. I'm going to see if I can actually get them. Okay, this great chapter. We got some definite progression this week. Naruto and Sasuke's combo was just badass. Kurama in armor looked so cool, and the artwork was absolutely amazing. The flashback part was brilliant. Kakashi being able to talk to Obito and tell him once again there's always hope and friends can always be there to fill the void. Reminds me of what he said to Sasuke before he left the village. Obito looks to be cracking, but this time he didn't have a single memory of Ren. Yeah, you know, I wish he would clarify more of that. Just, what everybody has like some little things they stuck to, you know, or they just got stuck on them like a piece of gum or something or whatever, and they just, for whatever, and that's kind of like what Ren is. It's just this like little minor thing that I just like, can I just get this fleshed out? And it's so clear now that it's not freaking important. And of course it may be. That'd be even more shocking. But it seems like it's not. I'm just gonna be one of those loose ends or whatever at the end. I'm gonna be like, damn it. All right, more from DT Ninja 831. And that's not a bad thing. LOL. In fact, it was interesting to see how the path would have changed if he would have stayed in the village with Kakashi. I feel that Obito will meet his end soon. The way he acted in the past 2 chapters makes me feel that he will either see the light via Kakashi's Talk no Jutsu or die at the hands of Madara, the very person who gave him such childish ambitions in the first place. I like your idea that everyone will get caught in the infinite Tsukiyami. I hope that we see more Madara in the coming chapters. Nice review, and keep up the great work. Now, like I say, I'm kind of, I can't even, let me put it this way, I'm maybe tilted like 60% more thinking that Obito will be the one to carry it out. Okay, and then of course he gets defeated. 51 to 60. I mean, that's about 60% sure. Okay, and 40% could be something else. But then again, my vote doesn't mean anything because I don't make the manga. But I like the idea of Madara, the evilness of Madara destroying his creation, Obito, and then taking charge, and us all seeing the death of Obito. And we may, and if that end, he was like reaching out for help or trying to get out of the darkness that he's in, then we've got these mixed feelings, even those that really want to see him dead. And so that would be an interesting, way for him to go if Madara just does come out. But, of course, we could have it all. We could have him actually almost close the deal, and Madara take him out, and then Orochimaru waiting for his moment, and then, you know, Sasuke taking him out, or Orochimaru, Sasuke, however that works. So it could just, the infinite possibilities here. So awesome. Always appreciate your comments, DT9831. Awesome job as always. All right, we got G. Gorsey. Got a couple comments here that I'm going to throw together. And let's see. Which I don't even know which is first. He created the ninja world, not the natural world. If we consider the story of his birth, he was born in an already existing world. Besides, I think it may be a little hyperbole. Maybe I didn't think he was as powerful as the original sage. He does have the power of the Ten Tails, but the sage of the Sixth Path defeated the Ten Tails and then sealed it in his body. And that was kind of a crazy, right? That while Hagoromo reportedly used it to create the ninja world, Obito can use the sword to destroy it. Despite this, the sword itself is partially destroyed by Sasuke Uchiha Susanoo's sword, while enhanced by Senjutsu from the Nine Tails Chakra. Absolutely. Appreciate your comments. So we've got a few more comments here. A. Ismail. It's me, or wait a minute, which one of these comments is first? 23 hours, 20. Okay, here we go. A. Ismail. This is your first comment. I wonder how Madara will swap places with Obito and fight with Hashirama at the same time. Madara revealed the Eye of the Moon plan would be complete once the flower on top of the Senju bloomed, which he then reaffirmed that he will be able to control. He calmly adds that the infinite Tsukuyomi will be complete within 15 minutes. Hashirama is not a pushover. Wonder how he will do it. Is it me or Naruto has more chakra control than Sasuke? Creating 9 Rasengan or Kurama's tail on Kurama's tails. Naruto contacts his comrades via the Konoha 11 or 10 and Sai join the fray. And they are enveloped by the chakra once more. They themselves don the tail beast mode mantles. Naruto transferred some of the Kurama's chakra to everyone and yet controlled all his chakra with everyone. I mean, if Naruto didn't give chakra to everyone, they would already be dead. Everyone is here because of Naruto and Kurama's chakra. Well, a lot of people have helped bail out, you know, the Konoha 10, the other 9 members. You know, a lot of help's been happening there. You know, absolutely. Good comments. And let's see, we got about 3 more comments left for this week's Naruto viewer comments. Sean Riley, Naruto is being a badass. Love how he is fully controlling Kurama's chakra. But one thing I thought about this chapter is Obito starting to second guess himself, or even have an alternative flashback, and since Kakashi and Obito have the same eye, Kakashi is seeing it too. I guess the flashback is the version of filling the void in your heart. Great review, Steve. You rock. Thank you. Thank you very much. And what's brilliant about what Kishimoto did is he created the opportunity. Okay, here it is, Obito. Look at the way it could have been. Did he answer it? No. So tune in next chapter to find out. That's exactly what he did, and that's what he should have done. So we could kind of speculate, think, is he gonna, you know, is that gonna help him along the way? Because he's already shown that he's kind of wanting to be taught ninjutsu, and is he gonna get taught side flash jitsu, or, you know, whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Awesome stuff though. Really do appreciate your comments, absolutely. And a couple from Sage Blue 92. It's never safe to count Obito out. Every time we do, he comes back even better. LOL. He's like the Terminator. That actually, I probably should have saved that for the last comment, because that's brilliant. That is true. Obito is a survivor. Absolutely he is. And Sage92, last comment on here for this viewer comments. People get so caught up in being overly analytical about manga. I've seen people talk themselves out of liking a chapter because of it. The biggest question should be, did you enjoy the chapter or just venting? LOL. And that's not a bad way to end either. 2 really good comments. Really do appreciate it, SageBlue92. Yeah. We can go too far over there, but we need something to talk about, because hey, I'm sure you've read or manga or watched anime, and there's not, you're like, okay, it was okay, but there's not really a lot to talk about afterward. Lot to try to figure out Naruto, so that's part of the beauty of it. Yeah, people can go too far. All right, I appreciate everyone's efforts, and as I want to say, I'm really proud of what everyone has contributed to this channel, even though it's this tiny little channel, and I've only got 1,000 subscribers, which I'm really happy to have. But it's a pretty friendly place. We've had a lot of fun here, and yeah, absolutely, and that's because it is a friendly place, right? And not all of YouTube is that awesome, or the internet. All right, that's going to end it. It's going to end it, and then, hey, sometime beginning of next year, anybody can be an anime fan. You can always subscribe, you can always unsubscribe. You can do anything you want to. Until next time, take care.